Welcome back, Cosmic Traveler. I've missed you. As always, I'm Nebulae Nyx and I'll be your guide. In the cosmic silence of an alien library, where books hummed with untold knowledge and ink shimmered like captured stars, Astral Weaver mindlessly roamed, looking for any books on the history of Earth or even humans. Then it happened, she felt a book calling to her. Slowly fingers traced the gilded spine of a familiar tome. Or was it a comic? What's this doing here, she thought as she stumbled into the next Atlantis High. The distinction blurred, just as it had before. Atlantis High, the next volume. As if it had been waiting for her. She turned to Stardust, who sat atop a precarious stack of scrolls, eyes half-lidded in skepticism. Well, here goes nothing, Astral murmured, flipping open the cover. And just like that, the world shifted. Atlantis High, a place of surreal normalcy. Where the halls gleamed with an impossible blue sheen, like sunlight refracted through water. The students bustled as though no time had passed. As though Astral had simply been out sick for a week. Astral. Voices called out in greeting. Some waved, others offered her high fives as she navigated the corridor. They remembered her. Respected her. Yet, for them, she had merely been absent for a short time. How curious. But before she could dwell on the nature of this reality, a familiar presence approached, Mortimer Mortvale. Ever immaculate, always clad in his black and white suit, his collar artfully loosened. His horns cast subtle shadows beneath the fluorescence. And his expression, measured, calculating. "Ah, Weaver," he drawled, voice silk-soft yet edged with an unseen weight. "A pleasure to see you among the living." Astral laughed, though something in his tone always sent a shiver down her spine. "Yeah, guess I'm back." "Indeed." His silver pocket watch clicked open. "I was beginning to think you might never return." She frowned at that. "Why wouldn't I?" Mortimer simply smiled. The kind of smile that held secrets locked behind cathedral doors. A chalkboard behind her. The weight of Mortimer's presence in front of her. His hand rested beside her head, fingers lightly brushing the dusty surface of the board. He leaned in, his voice barely above a whisper, threading through her mind like tendrils of mist. "Astral, do you know what this school truly needs?" Her breath caught. Better cafeteria food?" He chuckled, low, indulgent. "Leadership. A vision. Someone, like you." His words curled around her, each syllable deliberate, inviting. Suggestive, yet never overt. Astral swallowed hard, caught in his tempo. "You should run for student council president." She blinked. "What? No way, You will, of course," he continued, as though her hesitation did not exist. "Because Atlantis High would be lesser without you." Astral felt her head nod before she consciously made the decision. "Okay," she heard herself say. Mortimer smiled, stepping back. A wise choice. The next thing Astral remembers is boom. Flyers. Everywhere. Stardust trotted alongside Astral as she pinned them to bulletin boards. Astral Weaver for president. Her opposition. Callie, the school newspaper editor, ever determined, ever serious. "So, you finally decided to play politics, Weaver?" Callie smirked, arms crossed, an ever-present notepad in hand. Astral grinned. "More like I was talked into it." "Ah." Callie adjusted her glasses. "I assume Mortimer had something to do with it. He tends to get what he wants." Astral frowned, but before she could respond, Callie was already walking away, pen scribbling furiously. Then came the campaign. The absurdity of high school politics reached full swing. Students formed factions overnight. The lunchroom guild demanded better meal options. The pool club rallied for an expanded swimming area. The theater society lobbied for more funding, despite never actually putting on a play. Astral found herself pulled into wild, over-the-top campaign stunts. A balloon drop in the gymnasium. An elaborate, anime-style speech on the rooftop, the wind catching her hair just right. Mortimer, always nearby, orchestrating events in a way she never quite noticed. Then came the grand debate. The gymnasium pulsed with energy. Students packed the bleachers, holding banners for their chosen candidate. Callie, poised at her podium, spoke of truth and accountability. Astral, caught in the whirlwind, tried her best to respond in kind. The debate spiraled into madness. Arguments about vending machines. A heated exchange about whether the school mascot should be a shark or a kraken. A surprise talent show challenge midway through. But in the end, she won. Why? Because Mortimer asked every student to vote for her. And they did. She would never know. Stardust did. The election had been decided, the cheers still ringing in her ears, but Mortimer had called her aside once more. This time, they stood beneath the old clock tower. The gears churned slowly above, the heavy tick of time filling the silence between them. "You should be proud, Weaver," Mortimer murmured, adjusting his pocket watch. "They have chosen you." Astral exhaled, leaning against the railing. "Feels weird. Like I didn't really do anything." Mortimer chuckled, stepping behind her, close enough that she could feel his presence at her back. "But perception is everything, isn't it? A queen does not need to lift the sword, only to inspire others to do so in her name." Astral shivered, whether from the night air or his words, she wasn't sure. "Monday, then," she said, glancing over her shoulder. His lips curved ever so slightly. "Monday." She walked away, the moment already fading from her mind. But Mortimer stayed, watching, pocket watch in hand. And Stardust, ever watchful, understood what Astral could not. As the day ended, the bell rang, signaling the weekend. Astral turned to Mortimer one last time, grinning. Slowly, Astral returned to the library where this all began, completely forgetting why she originally came here and, in the recesses of her mind, Atlantis High was already slipping into a distant dream. As she and Stardust traveled back to the Nebula Nomad, she overheard people talking about an upcoming government meeting and she scoffed to herself. Every few months they stream some meeting to the cosmos and every few months she ignores it. "I've never been much for politics," Astral thinks to herself. Stardust however seems more worried than usual. "Hey buddy, it's a big galaxy and no one is going to tell us how to live in it," Astral reassures him as they set sail for another night. Still, Astral has no idea what lies in store for her. So, my cosmic friend, we conclude another tale of Astral Weaver and Stardust. Join me next time and travel safely in the void until the fates let us meet again.